as herbs. They are given the key value pair. Now the question is, if the first character in the value is G, then add the key to the stack. This is the question. If the first character in the value is Chen, it will be having the 3 values. Now you have to pop those 3 values and display it. So, so in order to pop, so here we call the pop display function. There you pass the value of the stack. It goes here, and so here you see the statements written inside the function while yes. While yes means till yes is empty. Till yes is empty. So you call the print statement, and inside the print statement you pop the elements and you display it. Okay. So now students, just see whether you're able to understand this program. Oh, okay, wait. Now you see, are able to view the screen. Okay. So this is a question based on dictionary. Okay. So dictionary actually took, yes. Push the key. In that case, you retrieve the key and you check in the same way. But actually here, what you are going to do is, so for W in herbs, no. See, so for W in herbs means here W represents what? It represents the first key. Okay. So here after this line, what you give is you give a program. You see that you give a line like this. You give the if condition. If W of 0, if W of 0 is equal to capital A. Okay. If W of 0 is equal to capital A, then what you do is you're going to add it. So you're going to add the value to the stack, no? Yes. So you give yes dot append. Here you're going to add the value. And how you are going to get the value? Herbs of W. Herbs of W, that's all. Okay. For W in herbs, means W represent the key. And then you are checking if W of 0 is equal to A. That means whether the first character of the key is A. If that is the case, now you are going to add the value of that particular key. So then how to get the value of the particular key? By using the name of the dictionary. And in the dictionary, you pass that particular key, you get the value. That value, you add it to the list. Thereby, it gets added to the stack. So is that clear? Okay. So now students, in the dictionary, you may get a question like this, or you may get a question like this to check the value. If the value is greater than some appropriate value, you will have to add the key to the dictionary. Okay, that you see. Then, so you have got one more C program here, but I don't want to dwell upon this more time. I'll just share this file to you. You go through it, and if you have any doubts, you can text to me. Then I'll clarify your doubts, or you can even, yeah. Okay. So now shall we move on to the computer networks? Okay. So in the 2-mark question, you may have a theory question for stack. So that is what is a stack? State the applications of stack, then define push and pop operation the stack, like that. Or else you may have a program question also where you will have to write the pop function or the push function as given in question number 1 and 2. Okay. 3 more question. So definitely it is an internal choice. And here you will be asked to write both the push as well as pop function for the given situation where it can be a set of numbers. And based upon the condition, you are going to pick certain numbers and add it to the stack. Okay. Either it can be a numeric question or it can be based on a string. Okay, as we have seen, or a dictionary. Therefore, go through these. You see that these programs, and I believe that will be sufficient to answer that question. Now we'll move on to the communication and the network concepts. So here, I want you to turn to the textbook actually. Okay. So you turn to the textbook, the following page. So in the case of communication and network concepts, you will have 10 marks. Out of 10 marks, 1 2-mark question and 2 4-mark questions. There won't be any 3-mark question. Okay. So you will have 2 4-mark questions. So one question is going to be case study and the other question is going to be an internal choice where you will have the theory part. Okay. Now we'll discuss about the case study. So just to study the case studies given in the textbook. So that will help you greatly to answer those questions. Okay. So you turn to page number 463. So turn to page number 463. Yes. You see that I will turn to 463. All of you, come on, respond. You have got very less time. So here C12D. BIOS Methodologies is planning to expand their network in India, starting with the 3 cities in India to build infrastructure for research and development of their chemical products. The company has planned to set up their main office in Pondicherry at 3 different locations and have named their offices as back office, research lab and development unit. The company has one more research office, namely a corporate office in Mumbai. See, the question will be a paragraph. So by seeing that, don't get scared. Okay. Generally, what they will do is they will give you a situation and you being the network expert. So the class 12 students, they are studying the network chapter. They are asking the network expert to solve their problem. Okay. Now you see in the diagram, in Pondicherry, they are having 3 offices. One is research lab, second one is back office, third one is development unit. And see the 2 tables given below. In the first table, they are given the distance between each office. In the second table, they are given the number of computers to be installed in each office. Okay. Next, you turn to next case study. Yeah. So you turn to next page. Yes. In the next page, see 13th question. Software development company has set up its new center at Raipur for its office and web-based activities. It has 4 blocks of buildings named block A, B, C, and D. So you see that in the earlier question, it was the offices, that is research lab, back office, development unit. And here they are given it as blocks A, B, C, and D. And here you see the 2 tables. So here in table A, they have given the number of computers in each block. And in table B, they have given, so that is in the second table, they have given the distance between each blocks. And see the third question in the next page. Okay. There is the Great Brain Organization has set up its new branch at Srinagar for its office and web-based activities. It has 4 wings of buildings as shown in the diagram. So here they are given wings. So don't get scared about seeing the question, whether it may be wings or whether it may be blocks or offices. they are going to give some 4 buildings, and the names of the building is going to vary from one question to another question. In one question, it may be office, and in other question, it may be block, and third question, it may be wing. So, but you need not bother about that. They have given the distance between each and every building and the number of computers to be installed in each building. So, this you have to know for each and every case study. Okay, so this is going to be the same concept for each and every case study. So if you see the previous year question papers and all, the same thing applies. Okay, now coming on to the questions. So this is the case study. Now they will give you 4 buildings, and they will give you the distance between each and every building and the number of computers to be installed in each and every building. Based on this, they will give you 4 questions and you have to answer. And you see that in these 4 questions, 2 questions will be very standard. Okay, what are those 2 questions? Where you are going to place the server in, you see, out of these 4 buildings, where you are going to place the server. So the company wants to place a server as a network expert. Okay, how will you suggest, you see, that placing the server? So the general concept is, if you want to place a server in a building, you have to place a server in the building which has got more number of computers, which is having the maximum number of computers. Okay. So in page number 465, 14th question, which wing is having the maximum number of computers? Yeah. So you have to place a server in Y. And in the 13th question, where you are going to place a server? Block C. In the 12th question, where are you going to place the server? Yeah. So you're going to place a server in the research lab. And what is the reason for it? So you have to justify your answer, why you are placing the server in that appropriate building. So for that, you turn to the following page. You got a rule called as 80:20 rule. You see that there is a rule called as 80:20 rule. If you place the server in the building which is having the maximum number of systems, thereby you can reduce the traffic. Okay, so you can reduce that traffic. So that is the reason why you place the server in the building which is having maximum number of computers. You turn to page number 418. So you turn to page number 418. So there you are able to see the topic, no? You see that? Where to place a server in the network? Yes? See the second paragraph. Here is a good rule
So
of
page
thumb.
number?
Page number 418. 418. There you are able to see the topic, where to place server in a network. See the second paragraph. Here is a good rule of thumb. In a properly designed small to medium sized network environment, 80% of the traffic on the given network segment is local. Okay. And not more than 20% of the network traffic should need to move across a backbone. So this and all just I'm saying for information, but what you have to write in the exam is the following. You see here, they have given 2 examples. So for example, if your network connects computers of 3 buildings having a number of computers, building A, B, C, A is 120, B is 20, C is 25. Here, as per 80:20 rule, server should be placed in building A as it hosts a maximum number of computers. Similarly, if the network connects 4 offices having the number of computers as, here you see the office CP, so 220, MR 85, BR 75, KG 40, see the last paragraph, that is very important. Then as per 80:20 rule, office CP should house the server to keep the maximum traffic local, as it has a maximum number of computers. So this is the answer which you have to write for that question. So you have to write that I will place the server, or else you should place the server in the office CP because it's having the maximum number of computers. As per the 80-20 rule, if you place a server in the building which is having the maximum number of computers, you can keep the maximum traffic local. Therefore, you must write the keywords maximum traffic local and place the server in maximum number of server in the building which is having maximum number of computers as per 80-20 rule. So is that clear? So for the case study based question, so definitely you will have this question, where are you going to place the server? Justify your answer by seeing the table. Now turn to page number 463. Okay. So now turn to page number 463. See, from 463, you got number of the case studies. In each and so in each and every case study, you will find this question. So where you're going to place the server? Simply by seeing the table, which gives information of number of computers in each building, you can write the answer. Okay, and you justify your answer by using the 80-20 rule. So is that clear, all of you? Okay, then coming on to the second question. Second question is, you have to suggest a layout. Okay, layout for the offices. You see, that is suggest a layout in the sense topology. What topology you are going to use? Okay, for that, generally you will be using the star topology. So star topology in the sense, you will be connecting the server to each and every computer. Okay, now I'll ask you to turn to star topology. The page number, just wait. So just to study based on examination point of view, so that we will be sufficient. Yeah, so you turn to that is page number 407. Turn to page number 407. That star topology, see the diagram alone. So 10.9 diagram alone. So there you got the central node. So central node is a concentrator. You can just have it as a server also, and the server is getting you see the connected to the clients. Okay, so here this you have to apply to the case study. So in the case study, you see they are given 4 buildings, they may give 5 buildings, they may give 3 buildings. But one building, you see that one building will have the server. You place the server in the center and you give connection to the other buildings. Okay. Now you see the diagram given in page number 464. You see the diagram given in 464. They have given research lab, then back office, and then development unit. So now see the fourth question there, that is in page number 464. See the Roman letter, small Roman letter 4. See the small Roman letter 4. Suggest a cable layout for connecting the company's local office units located in Pondicherry. Okay. So you see all of you are, you see that, are you following? Yeah. So suggest a cable layout. So for connecting company's local office units located in Pondicherry. Okay. So here, why they have given the distance between each and every office for this layout only. Now see the tabular column. Now see the tabular column. The distance from research lab to back office is 110 meter. And the distance from research lab to development unit is 16 kilometer. And research lab to corporate office is 1800 kilometer. And back office to development unit is 13 kilometer. Okay. Now they are asking you to suggest a layout only for offices in Pondicherry. So not for the office in Pondicherry to the office in Mumbai. Okay, only these three offices. So you have to see the distance and then draw the layout. So if you can form a shorter distance, then it will reduce the cost of purchasing the cable. Okay. So for that purpose only they are given the distances. Okay, see the diagram. From research lab to back office, what is the distance? It is 110 meter. And from back office to development unit, what is the distance? From back office to development unit, 13 kilometer. Okay. But which one is having the server here? Which building is having the server? Okay, now do you have whiteboard here? Okay, open and collaborate. Now here you see, are you able to see the whiteboard? Yes? I haven't shared, no? Okay. Sharing your screen will close the whiteboard for everyone. So now are you able to see the whiteboard? Yes? Yes, sir. No, cable that will you see that I'll come a little later. Now I want to just draw the layout and show it to you. Now I'm asking whether you are able to see the whiteboard. Is there you see that are you able to view it? Okay. Now see here they have given. See you are going to place a server in the research lab. So this is the research lab. As if you want to draw the star topology, okay, you have to draw like this. So you have to place the server, the building which is having the server in the middle. Then you make connections to the other buildings. So what are the other buildings here? So this is the back office. This is the back office, and then what is one more building? Development unit. This is the development unit. Now see the distance. This one is 110 meter. Okay. Now what is the distance between research and development unit? 16 kilometer. So, what? Yeah. So now if you want to lay the cable, then I have to purchase cable for the length of 16 kilometer and also 110 meters. Okay. If I go for star topology, whereas if I go for bus topology, if I go for bus topology, in that case, you see that how I can reduce the length of the cable. So from research lab to the block to the back office, it is only 110 meter, and from back office to the development unit. So here this is 13 kilometer. Thereby I am reducing the cost of 3 kilometer cable. Okay. So this is bus topology, and whereas the earlier one is star topology. Therefore, which one will you prefer? Okay. So in the question, if they generally ask you what topology will you lay out? Okay. That is by using what topology you are going to lay the cable. You can go for star topology if they don't specify about the cost. Okay, star topology will be somewhat efficient as compared to the bus topology. If they specifically give that economically you have to lay the cable, then you can go for bus topology. Okay, so you see that is that clear? or you can write both the topologies and you can state the reasons. I can use star topology if the company wants the network to be very efficient, and if the company is considering the cost as a main factor, then we can go for you see that bus topology. Okay, so that is the thing here. And see that question, suggest a cable layout. Okay, so you can suggest both also, and it is up to the company to take up what is needed. Okay, yes, if specifically they ask for economic, so they are considering about economic cost, then you can go for bus topology. And specifically they are asking for the efficiency of the network, then you can go for star topology. Okay, so for this reason only they have given the two tables. They have given a paragraph of question and two tables. By seeing all these things, you need not be scared of. These two questions will be standard. Okay, one is they will ask you where you are going to place the server, and the second question is they will ask you to suggest the cable layout. This is going to be standard two questions in all the case studies, as you see the several case studies given in the textbook. Now coming on to the other two questions. Okay, so in the other two questions, they will ask in one of these topics, that is, what kind of the network you are going to suggest to connect the computers in each and every office of the company. What kind of network you are going to suggest to connect each and every computer, okay, in each and every office of the company. So yeah, what are the types of network available? You see that what are the types of networks available? First is local area network. This you see that local area network, you can connect the computers to a maximum distance of 1 kilometer. Okay, then comes the metropolitan area network. Okay, so where you connect the computers in a city, and finally you go for a wide area network, so where you connect the lands and the mans in different cities together. You see, you are able to follow, students? Now in page number 463, 12th question, D. See the first question in D section, small Roman letter 1. Suggest the kind of network required for connecting each of the following office units. Okay, so suggest the kind of network required for connecting each of the following office units. They want to connect the research lab and back office. So which network are you going to follow? Either LAN, WAN, or MAN. How are you going to decide? You see, how are you going to decide? Based upon the distance. For that purpose only they are given the distance. So from research lab to back office, what is the distance? It is only the 110 meter. Therefore, you can see and you can write it as LAN. Then research lab to development unit. Research lab and development unit. The distance is 16 kilometer. Then you can go for that is a metropolitan area network. Yes, because it is in the same city called as Pondicherry. You see, is it clear? Okay, see, only Venu Madhav is answering. What about others? Rohit, Ania?
Yes, sir. Understood, sir.
Yeah. So they will ask you the type of network which you are going to use in order to connect computers in each and every office, or to connect two offices. Here they are given connecting two offices. Okay. By seeing the distance, you can suggest the local area network. If the distance is within 1 kilometer, that is 1000 meters. and it goes beyond 1 kilometer and to some kilometers within the same city, then you can suggest a wide area network. And if you want to connect between various cities, then you can no, I'm sorry, suppose if it's within the same city means metropolitan area network, and within different cities means you can suggest a wide area network. So you will have a question based upon type of network. Then coming on to second question, the same page, write I'm sorry, which one of the following devices will you suggest for connecting all the computers within each of their office units? Okay. Now, which device you are going to use to connect all the computers within each of their office units? Now you can eliminate the answer. You can eliminate the answer modem, because modem is not used to connect the computers. It is only used to convert the data from analog into digital and vice versa. And telephone also is not used to connect the computer. Therefore, the answer is switch or hub. Is that clear? So in the case study, you will have 4 questions. One standard question is where you are going to place or house the server. Second question is cable layout. So cable layout means that is topology. And the remaining 2 questions about the devices and about the type of the network, and also the type of media which you can use, that is guided media. What type of cable you are going to use, whether fiber optic cable or Ethernet cable or coaxial cable or else a twisted pair cable. Okay, so that will be another question. So see the third question, next page. So which of the following communication media will you suggest to be procured by the company for connecting their local office units in Pondicherry for very effective the communication? They have given choices. So there is telephone cable, optical fiber, and Ethernet cable. You can go for optical fiber because it is of high efficiency. Okay, so is that clear? So out of these 4 questions, in this case study, they are not given the question where they are going to place a server. Okay, so but in general, you will have that question. So like this, you can go through all the case studies, the solved case studies in the textbook. This will help you to answer that 1 4-mark question. Okay. Now let us see some of one more case study. Yeah. Now see the case study given in page number 465. That is question number 14 and D section, the great brain organization. That question, you need not read the question and all. This is going to be the same thing. See, of course, you can read and understand. Then see the first question. Suggest the most suitable cable layout of connection between the wings and the topology. You see the answer in the next page. The answer is given in the diagram. So here, can you tell me what topology they have used in this layout? They have used the bus topology. Okay. If at all they have used the star topology, means they, you see, connections must be made from the building which is having the server to each and every other building. But here it is not done so. It is, they have given the that is the bus topology. The reason is to reduce the length of the cable. To reduce the length of the cable. Okay. Okay. And see the second question, suggest the most suitable place to house the server. That's what we have seen already. Then third question, suggest the placement of the following devices with the justification. Where you are going to place the repeater and the hub and switch. See, in order to connect the computers together in a lab or in an office, in a building, you have to use hub. They have given hub slash switch. You can use both also. Okay. So that hub or switch should be used in each and every wing. So that is to connect all the computers in each and every wing. And where will you be using the repeater? Where will you be using the repeater? So repeater, here actually what is the purpose of the repeater? So here a repeater is a device which is going to amplify the signal, so which is going to increase the strength of the signal. Suppose if the signal transfers over a long distance, it may get weakened. Okay, it may get weakened. Therefore, in order to increase the strength of the signal, they are using a repeater. Okay, if the distance is more than 100 meters, then you can use the repeater. If the distance is more than 100 meters, then you can use the repeater. Therefore, the repeaters can be placed between. See, you have to see the diagram and say, okay, so now this is the layout. In this layout, where are you going to place the repeater? Now, see what is the distance between X and Z? See the table, X and Z. It is only 50 meters. Therefore, no need of repeater. And see the distance between Z and Y. Z and Y, what is the distance? Yeah, Z and Y 70 meters. Therefore, there also no need of repeater. See the distance between Y and U. Y and U also 80 meters is there. So there is no need for repeater here. What is the question they answer they have given? As per the suggested layout, separate repeaters need not be installed, as each building will have a hub that acts as a repeater. Okay, only when the distance between the building exceeds 100 meters, then you can go for a repeater. So you see, are you able to understand? Okay, then let me. So let me see one more question where we will place the repeater. There you can come across that question. I will see that where such question is there. So repeater where you can place the. Yeah, you see now you turn to page number 478. So you turn to page number 478. In that 478, see the division E, see the third question. Suggest the placement of the following devices with the justification. So repeater and hub and switch. See, generally hub and switch is to be placed inside each and every building in order to connect all the computers together. Now coming on to the repeater, you see the layout which they have given in the next page, 479. See the layout which they have given. Okay, in the layout, which two buildings distance is more than 100 meter? Training and accounts. So they have given the answer as between training and accounts building, as they have 100 meter of distance. So if the distance exceeds 100 meter, okay, as they have 110 meter of distance, if the distance exceeds 100 meter, you can use a repeater. Is it clear? Then see the fourth question. E4. The NGO is planning to connect its international office situated in Delhi. Which out of the following wired communication links will you suggest for a very high speed connectivity? So by seeing the keyword very high speed, you can suggest optical fiber cable. You can suggest optical fiber cable. Okay. Okay. So this is about the case study. Therefore, what are the topics you have to study for the case study? If you study these topics, it will help not only for case study, but also the theory question which you are going to answer. Okay. That is, you can turn to the contents of the textbook, chapter 10. You turn to the contents of the textbook, chapter 10. You study the type of networks. Okay, LAN, WAN, and MAN. Then you study the transmission media. That is the guided media and unguided media. That is a twisted pair cable, coaxial cable, optical fiber. Then next is topology. So third one is topology, and fourth one is devices. So that is network devices. These four things you have to study. Why? Because two questions. So one is going to be where you're going to place the server, and the other one is going to be how you're going to lay the cable. Okay, so cable layout. So these things you study. Now coming on to the theory. Theory again, you study the type of networks. Now let me ask you to turn to the respective pages and show that. So now we can't teach all these things, but just overall I'll give you the guidelines. See, you turn to page number 392. 392. So here you are seeing about types of networks. No, see, they may ask you in a 4-mark question like this. What is this? Okay, so they may ask you in a 4-mark question, explain about the types of network, or they may specifically give you certain networks and ask you to write the advantage and disadvantage, or else write a brief short note. Therefore, you study some that is some 2 to 4 points in each and every network. Okay, that you study. And then coming on to the next part is that is switching technology. Okay, so here the circuit switching, message switching, packet switching. So you study the meaning for switching technology. So why you use switching technology? You can see the note there. It is used to transfer the data. So for transmitting the data across the network, you go for switching technology. In the case of the circuit switching, you have a direct connection between the sender and the receiver. You have a complete physical connection between the sender and the receiver in the case of circuit switching. And then what about the message switching? There they use the switching office. Okay, so sender is sending the data to the receiver. So the sender is sending the data, but it goes to the switching office. It is getting stored there, and then it is and then it is forwarded. So store and forward concept is used in the case of message switching. We don't know the number of switching offices that is there between the sender and the receiver. You may have 2 switching offices or 20 switching offices. You have the store and forward concept. Okay, but whereas here in circuit switching, you don't have store and you see that forward concept. They may ask you the difference between circuit switching and message switching, or circuit switching and packet switching. Okay, now so coming on to the packet switching. So here in the case of the packet switching, data is broken down into packets and then it is forwarded. Okay, in the case of the packet switching, so here what happens, the packets are stored in the main memory, and whereas in the case of the message switching, the blocks, that is the packets are stored in the disk. It is stored in the disk. And in the case of the packet switching, you have a fixed size for each and every packet. And whereas in the message switching, so you don't have a fixed size for the packet. Okay, so therefore these 3 points you can see in the case of the switching. You can just go through these paragraphs, the 3 paragraphs. You can just chart out the points on your own, and you can write this question. It may be as possibilities there for switching techniques. Then coming on to the transmission media. So transmission media, you see that in page number 401, you are able to see the guided media and unguided media. So here guided medium means it is the wired medium, and unguided medium means it is a wireless medium. In the case of the guided medium, you have got the twisted pair cable. Here you just go through the advantages and disadvantages for twisted pair cable, and it is the cheapest one. You want to use? Yeah, you can use. So there is cheapest one is twisted pair cable. Just to go for the advantage, disadvantage, and the types. You have got two types in the twisted pair cable. So one is unshielded twisted pair cable and shielded twisted pair cable, which you can see in the next page. There you just to go through and note some 2 or 3 points. Okay. Then coaxial cable, advantage and disadvantage, and the types you have got thick net and thin net. And then the optical fiber cable. Here you have got two types, single node and multi node. Okay. Just in the book itself, you can mark and you can go through those things and you can write those things. Then coming on to the unguided media, you have got the microwave and then you have got the radio wave. That also advantage and disadvantage, two advantages you can study, and then you can write regarding that. Then coming on to the topology. So just you study about the star topology, the bus topology. Okay, by seeing the you draw the diagram, and based upon the diagram itself, you can explain just by giving 2 lines. That itself enough. So star topology, bus topology, and then ring topology. Okay. Then you have got mesh topology and fully completed topology. You study the advantages and two advantages and two disadvantages. Because in the theory, they are asking 1 4-mark question. Okay. In section C. Then coming on to the network devices. You study the modem. It's given in page number 412, modem. Then you study about the hub that is given in page number 415. So 415, you got hub. Okay. So there are 2 types of hub. One is active hub, another one is passive hub. In the case of the active hub, it is going to amplify the signal. In the case of the passive hub, it is going to send the signal as it receives. Okay. So it is going to send the signal without any change. And whereas in the active hub, it is going to amplify the signal. So that is the hub. And for that reason only, if the distance between the buildings is less than 100 meter, that is the hub itself will amplify the signal. Then coming on to switch. So what is the difference between hub and the switch? See, hub is used to connect the computers together, and whereas switch, you can divide a network into smaller networks. You can divide a network into sub-networks. For that, you can use a switch. Okay. Switch will filter the data and forward the data. And whereas a hub is not going to filter and forward. It is going to only amplify the signal if it is going to be an active hub. So difference between hub and switch is important. So as we have earlier seen, difference between the switching technologies are important. Okay, that you go through. So switch, it is used to filter and forward. It is used to divide the network into small networks. And it can support any, you see that packet protocol that you see. So then what is a repeater? You can go through the definition. It's going to amplify the signal being transmitted, repeater. Then coming on to bridge. So bridge is used to connect, that is 2 networks of same type with the same protocol. It's used to connect 2 networks. So that is 2 LANs with the same protocols, 2 MANs with the same protocols, 2 WANs with the same protocols. Okay. If the 2 LANs are having different protocol, then you can go for a router. So here router is used to connect the networks of same type with the different protocols. And if you are going to connect 2 dissimilar networks, then you can use a gateway. You can use gateway. So these are the 6 devices you can go through. So one is modem, hub, switch, repeater, bridge, router, gateway. 7 devices you can go through. Okay, devices concept is very important. And then you turn to page number 419. Here they have given they have given the points how to choose an appropriate cable. They have given the point of how to choose appropriate cable. They have given the difference between the hub and the switch also. Okay, in that same page. The next page also they are given in what situations you can use the radio waves and things like that you go through. And regarding the protocols, okay, regarding the protocol, you just read the abbreviation, because abbreviations may be asked as a 1 mark question or even a half mark question. 2 abbreviation they will give and ask you to write the expansion. Those you see protocols you can just go through. Don't study mobile computing. Mobile computing is not there. And then you can study some of the other terms. You can study some of the other terms, no viruses and all. So that www, all these concepts, which is there in that protocols, you can study those things. Okay. I will share you this screen also to you. I'll just show you the file. So just I will wait. I'll share you the screen. Yeah. So here I'll just share you this file. In this file, you can see some of the questions related to the network. Yeah. See here. So here the computer networks. So they are given some of the questions and answers also given at the end of the file that you can go through. This may help you to answer some of the questions. And then they have given the case studies. If you have time, you can go through, or else you need not go through, because you have to study other concepts also. Therefore, whatever given in the textbook only, they have given with a change of name. Therefore, as time permits, you can go through, else you can skip it. So is it clear, all of you? See that how many of you are there? Only 2 of you are there. Eh?
Yes, sir.
Rohit, yeah, Rohit and Venu Madhu, that's all. It's okay, fine, no problem. So then we'll move on to MySQL. So I'll have a short break. So just to give me 5 minutes break, I'll come back by 10:45. Okay. So I'll come back by 10:45. We'll start again 10:45 MySQL. Yeah. Venu. So now we discussed the data structure and computer networks. I will share one file. In that file written by Yogesh Kumar, you just go through the questions and answers in the data structure and computer networks. In the computer networks also, don't go through the case study and all. So if you have time, you can go through, or else you can study the theory questions and the answers given in that file. Then regarding MySQL, you have got 20 marks. Whether you have also that is sample papers written by that is the company Hari and company. So you have the soft copy, no? You study all the sample papers. Okay. And then if you have got any doubts, you text me. I will just give you the answer. Based on that, you can study the theory part of the 5 chapters, chapter 11 to 15. So same thing I told to Rohit, and I asked him whether any specific doubts. He told no, I can study on my own. He told, then I asked him to leave. So in that case, if you have got any specific doubts, then I can clarify you now. Or else if you don't have, if you can study on your own, you can leave the meeting.
I don't have any doubts as of now, sir. I will ask you what.
Okay, then you can leave. I will share you. See, of course, you people are having the soft copy of Arihant. I will share that only the revision file alone. You can share it in the group. Okay.
Okay.
Then you can leave.